Hey Jeffrey,
Hey Todd, how you doing?
pretty good. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Tried something different this week to see if we could manage all the comments right here in the YouTube thing. So hopefully people caught on. Looks
Okay.
like Jan did.
Okay. Very cool.
They're
Hello, Jan.
they're they're slowly coming in, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I just trying to. It's hard to do the phone, the iPad, and the computer at the same time.
Yeah.
I might have to go back and post in the groups and let everybody know we're live.
You may have to.
I just did it in props and ships, so
Okay.
let me see. Looks like Tony's Workbench is with us. Gary Reynolds. I reckon they got the gist of it. Posting a few more groups real quick. You been busy this weekend?
Yeah, I just been trying to get everything moving here with the all the Eagle stuff that's going on. So it turns out I'm not going to be going over to England until next week. So
Next week?
yeah, going next. I'm going a week from today. I'll go a week from today. All works
Oh,
out.
Angela's with
They
us too.
needed they needed more time to prep all this stuff. So
Yeah, it's probably a pretty big ordeal.
well, the biggest thing is all the electronics, the lighting, and everything. They gotta plan all that out. Like
Oh yeah.
because the other thing is, I'm planning to do something that you've never really seen before, which is to build the whole cockpit in 360. So that
Uh-huh.
like what happens is we'll have all the forward stuff in there too. Like all the um, I'm planning to have all the you
Lights
know
and
yeah, the lights and the windows and the instrumentation and all that stuff. So we're gonna do all of that. So yeah.
that's crazy.
Hmm.
I can't I can't imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's gonna take a little bit of work to figure all that out.
I can see that happening.
Hmm. So is it working on the other side too?
Yeah, they're coming slowly.
Okay.
Joe McNally's with us. Angela's with us. Gary says it's cold here. Where you at, Gary? Canada? We'll see what happens there. I just put it in about 5 other groups. I wonder if I better put it. UK. It's cold in the UK? What?
Yeah, what? Oh, shoot, I don't have my phone with me. I didn't try to figure out what the temperatures are like over there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I didn't think it got as cold over there, but maybe I'm thinking that the opposite. Maybe it's the heat.
I think I'm not sure. I think it's pretty moderate. Like I know they've been getting a lot of rain over there.
Wow.
Hmm
4 degrees in Denmark. They're way ahead of us in winter, like, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's 4 Celsius.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Celsius. I
Yeah.
wish they'd studied that more in six in Scotland. There's a good
Okay.
one. It will be interesting to reconcile the Eagle cockpit set with the pilot positions versus viewports.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to work on all that. Yeah.
Uh,
So 4 is about 40 degrees. Just so you know, Todd.
oh, okay.
Yep.
So, whoa. Yeah, it's definitely not the usual pickup right now as it is this time early enough.
Should we, do you want to restart it or something over on the,
I'd have to end the program and do a. I think it would make things even more complicated.
oh, okay.
People are liking the post I'm doing, so maybe we'll.
Get some folks to head over.
Yeah, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Think we got a little spoiled using all the different um, groups we can go live in, but it just makes it um, a bit. It's hard for me, but maybe I might have to stick to it
Mm-hmm.
if we don't get what we want to out of this today. It's going to be reshown in the group anyway, but
Yeah.
I'm wanting people to show up so they can ask their questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Alan Bailey's here. Doo-doo-doo. Alan said, "Bring a big coat. England is getting really chilly now."
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was, let me try to find out, like, what's the temperatures, like, forecast in London. It's about the same temperatures. I live in Minnesota here. It's about the same temperatures for me as what we have here. It's actually warmer there than it is here where I live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be like 58 here today.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, yeah, as far as Fahrenheit, we've got, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's going to be nice. Oh, that's funny.
Well, hopefully people will join in and catch on, because all they have to do is click on that link that I posted in the groups, and it brings them straight to this show. So
Oh, yeah.
sorry, guys, I'm just kind of waiting on people to join because we're doing it a little differently this time. I love how that, what is it, the automatic spelling on phones now, and when you're typing in
Oh, yeah, the autocorrect.
yeah,
Yeah.
autocorrect.
Yeah.
You put live, and it autocorrects to love.
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess we can get started. Like I said, people will be able to see this. I was just kind of hoping they got they understood what I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't see any. Let me see if there's any. Yeah, nobody's really asked any questions about it.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yep, right there it is. Thought I'd see my old buddy Nick McCarty for sure. Oh, there he is. He just popped in.
Yep.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? Okay, we'll just move on. I don't want to keep all these people waiting too long. Some of them are from all over the place. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, welcome to Todd's Corner, guys and gals. We're doing a little different this time, and I'm gonna stick to this as long as I can. So I'm gonna post in the groups the link for this on YouTube, and all you gotta do is click that link. It'll take you to the show. Hopefully, everybody's gathered that by now, or figuring it out. So let's talk about the Eagle has landed.
Yeah, I mean, still making progress. I mean, I guess the current schedule, I go to London next week. We start, we're doing all the CAD drawings and all the technical stuff for the Eagle build. And that starts at Pinewood Studios. That starts tomorrow. And then we just signed the deal last week, and that starts tomorrow. And then I'm going to go over to supervise and meet with the team as far as what we want to make. So when you build these sets, we're trying to build the set nice enough that it actually is like an exhibit quality, so we can maybe do something more with it. My goal is going to be to actually invite ITV over to Pinewood when we're there filming with Nick and everybody, so they can see it, because I'm hoping that we can really garner a license for the 2025 convention to be able to maybe have this there, or some sort of exhibit, something that people could engage with and get this, be in it, and get their photo taken in, stuff like that. That'd be really cool, I think. So
yeah, that's somebody right. Even asked that in Joe did.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, we're figuring that out. Right now it's about the documentary only. That's our sole interest and perspective, is just trying to get it in the documentary. I think the magical moment's going to be getting that thing rebuilt and having Nick in it after 50 years. I think that's going to be super cool. I can't wait to see that, and I think it's going to be such a fascinating journey. And so part of the documentary is going to be the quest to get that thing rebuilt, and what it took to do it, and where we're doing it and who's doing it and all that stuff. So that's going to be a part of the documentary now. And then let's see. So that happens next week. And then on December 5th, I'm going to the Kennedy Space Center, and I'm going to be shooting an interview with Charles Duke, who was the lunar module pilot for Apollo 16. And he's going to be, we're going to be talking about the past, present, and future of lunar exploration, and kind of how it relates to Space 1999, that sort of thing. And I'm going to talk to him about the Eagle when we're there, which is going to be fun. And then after that, right there, I get on a plane from Florida, and I'm going to Denmark to hook up with my friend Jan, and get that, tell the story of his Eagle and everything. And we've got a really cool plan for what we're going to do with that. So that I'll be in Denmark for a couple of days, and we'll be putting that thing together. And boy, you see what he's done now. It's even better looking than that. That was amazing, but now it's even, way past that. So it's going to be very exciting.
He's been weathering the Eagle.
Yep. So, so I'm going to, I've been, and also I've noticed your, all the colors and stuff, all the little, the stuff you've been adding is super cool. So, so I'm really excited to go and hang out with Jan for a couple of days. And then after that, I'm going to travel back to London. We should be closing in on getting the Eagle completed by then. And then that's when you, Todd, and Nick, and I know Anton Phillips is going to join us as well. And I'm going to try to reach out to Prentice Hancock and see if he has any interest in joining us, and really about reshooting the Eagle and trying to get the magic of that and everything there at Pinewood. Because we're going to be right there where the original series was shot 50 years ago. So that's going to be pretty cool. So so that'll be in mid-December. We'll be doing all that. So the pilot seats, from what I've heard, are dentist chairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the conversations I'm going to be having with the guys at Pinewood at Machinarium this week, is like, how are we going to redo those chairs, and everything. So, we may have to rebuild them from scratch. We certainly have enough of a budget to do it. So we may have to rebuild them, but because I don't know where you find just random dentist chairs, but maybe we can, maybe we can figure it out, so there's that and everything. So that'll be happening. And then let's see. I was just talking with Bill George, and Bill and I are planning for me to be in San Francisco to shoot with him in early January. And then there's some more additional stuff that we have to shoot. And there's like two versions of this documentary. There's kind of there's sort of the basic telling the story, then there's a deluxe version. And so if we can hit the deluxe number in terms of our fundraising, because we've got funding, but like there's different levels, so if we hit the deluxe version, we'll go further, and we'll shoot all the way through probably February and everything. So, but if not, we should have it all in the can by the end of January, and we're going to start editing right after Thanksgiving. So that'll be the 27th of this month. We'll start editing.
Wow. So what we've had done all up to this point?
Yeah. So we shot at Wonderfest. We shot, I got some behind the scenes in Calgary, but the real shoot really started in Wonderfest. And then, so we got Wonderfest, we've got Colorado with Kevin Anderson. We've got, the stuff we shot with you in Indiana. So it's just all those bits and pieces that are starting to, pull it all together.
So by then you'll, and then after London, you'll have Denmark and all that stuff in
right
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what happens is we'll have the Florida stuff I'm shooting with Charles Duke. We'll have the stuff we're going to shoot in Denmark. Yeah. So Florida, Denmark, and then all the stuff in London. And also when I'm in London, I'm planning to shoot with Jamie Anderson and Chris Thompson also. So I'm going to get that stuff done during that week or so that I'm going to be there. It'll probably be 10 days or so being in London. So, yeah.
You sent me some sketches or some drawings, and everybody was asking about it last week, and I didn't really have much info on it, but is this what you've been working on as far as?
This is I've been working with a guy named Tim Earls, who's a set designer. He's worked on one of his early things was Babylon 5, but then he went from that to Star Trek. Then he went, I don't know. He just recently worked on Ahsoka for, the Star Wars series. He did a bunch of design work for that. And he's For All Mankind is another thing he's done. He did the moon base and For All Mankind for their second season stuff. So he's a super talented guy, and he's a huge Space 1999 fan. So he and I have been working on this for a few months. And so this were some of the just trying to figure out like how you would lay this out as a set, as a rebuild. So we did a lot of looking at the some measurements off of archival images and stock footage and different things to try to figure out exactly how we would recreate it and how it would work. And so that's how we got here. And so what I'm planning to do right now is build the cockpit to the sort of that transition section. So that's what I think we're gonna. And then I'm actually talking with Lee Stringer, who formerly worked on Battlestar and Firefly. Great guy. Model builder. He's got some set building background stuff, and he and I are talking about rebuilding the actual physical passenger module. So that might be a part 2 to this, to do the passenger module. So
that's pretty freaking nice.
Yeah, and so my thought is, if I can get these things, because I'm going to have him kind of talking with the Pinewood guys, right? So what I'm hoping we can do is, if the passenger module can meet the same specifications, so he can learn from what we pull off when we do this. and then he can be working. And his target would be to get the passenger module done by, say, February, late February, something like that. So then that would give us a chance to shoot some other stuff. And there's actually, as I said, there's some very, very big celebrities who are into Space 1999 that one who happens to be a musician who is currently on tour, and I was not able to get him. He's interested in the project, but he didn't have the availability to be in the documentary yet. So I'm hoping that if I can get the passenger module built, I actually do a whole shoot around bringing him in, having him be there and everything, which would be really cool. So this is all, the thing with this is these are recreations that were based upon actually taking the technical aspects of what we've been figuring out and putting them together and stuff, so it's like, it's one thing to do all the measurements and everything, but it's another thing to kind of trying to bring them into a physical reality. So that's what some of these models are. It's like you do these 3D models to go, okay, will this work? So then
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is how you got to plot it out and figure it out, and everything. And, yes, I mean, I'm sure they're going to be nitpickers who are going to say, that's not exactly like the blah, blah, blah. But, it's like, we're going to have an eagle, man. That's the thing that's exciting about it. And it's going to be as accurate as we can make it with the time and materials and the talent that we have available to us. And I think it's going to be the most spectacular, aspect of Space 1999 to come around in decades. That's what I'm thinking, so that's my goal with it, So, yeah.
Gary says, "Are you going to Milton Keynes to see the moon base miniature?"
We may. It's that's I've heard that there's there's like a sci-fi museum or film museum, something like that up there.
They've got the
Yeah. So, right now I don't have it currently scheduled to bring a crew there or do anything there yet, but because there's other things we've been focusing on doing. But maybe what might be nice would be to see if Jamie Anderson would want to maybe do the interview stuff there. That might be a good idea. Yeah, because I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I definitely want
me too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can figure that out when you're over there. Maybe we can go do that. And maybe we can get Jamie up there. We got to get there's a lot of little stuff we got to get coordinated and figured out.
Right.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alan's asking how things with Barbara went.
Barbara was fantastic. We got along really, really, really well. And, she's agreed to be in the documentary. So, at this point, my target would be to have her. We would be shooting with her in California. Like when I go to shoot with Bill George in San Francisco, I would probably shoot down to LA and do a day with her. That's the plan. So that'd be in January. We would shoot with Barbara.
So yeah, just so everybody knows now, we are working on this project. You're doing. You got everything in the wheels are in motion. You're building stuff. We've done some interviews in the last month, and moving on forward to doing more things.
Can you pull up the Eagles Landed website? Sorry, the eagledocumentary.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we can go over there and look at the production log and see some of the stuff we've done there. But yeah, Barbara and I had lunch in Los Angeles. What it was about it was about a month and a half ago, something like that. And it was just fantastic. We had a great connection, great time. It was wonderful. We actually had so much in common. It actually felt like she was like family or something. It was crazy. So it was really neat. So I look forward to doing something with her. It's gonna be great. It was really interesting meeting a legend like her, and she had so much energy and vitality and perspective. And yeah.
Good grief.
What's up?
I just put in
Eagle Documentary.
Is it?
Oh, it's eagledocumentary.com.
Eagle Documentary. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
That should do it. There it is. Okay, so I need to share.
Mm-hmm.
Screen share.
There we go. Yeah, so this is the website. I don't know if all of you have seen it or not, but this is the eagledocumentary.com. It kind of covers the project and talks about everything we're doing and everything. So, um, and kind of shows some of the people we're going to interview. And then, yeah, here's a section right here that kind of covers what we've been shooting so far and has some of the behind the scenes. So you'll be able to track everything we're doing with this. So like when I go to London next week, I'll have updates about that. I'll have photos and behind the scenes for all that. So, yeah. So this is
Yeah, here's all. Yeah.
this is all
Okay.
these are all the shoots we've done so far. So if you click into those, say for example, uh, whichever one you want, yeah. So this is one.
Still.
This is where I live in Minnesota, and so we were shooting some of the opening stuff for the documentary, which is to try to get to know kind of me and my
Oh,
background.
cool.
Yeah, so we shot this and we did this awesome drone stuff. It's like epic. It looks like it's motion picture quality stuff we did. It's huge. So
That drone was a blast.
yeah, so we shot super cool drone stuff here. As a matter of fact, you can see the drone in the shot there. And there's this shot alone is super cool. And we even had the drone like following me down the path through all these trees and everything up the low level. It's super cool stuff. So this will be stuff that'll be kind of voiceover where I'm kind of explaining, who I am, what I do, why I love, what I do, that kind of thing. And so I wanted it to not, the one thing that's really important for me, and you see it, so you get the Martinsville there, yeah. One of the things that's important to me with this documentary is that people see that that this is not just some big sci-fi thing. I want this to appeal to people who normally would not have any interest in this at all. I want it to appeal to people who obviously are very interested in it, but we have to make something like this, especially with the budget and the approach. We have to do this in a way that's going to appeal to millions of people. So it's not just about Space 1999 fans, even though they're at the heart and core of what we're doing. We want this to get the word out and get people interested who would never have even heard of this. So,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you go back, Todd, you go back to there, you can go Martinsville, and then if you go scroll down, then you got and those you click those, they get a little bit bigger. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those will get bigger. Yeah, if you click them.
I haven't seen some of these photos yet, so I was like, wow, look at that.
Click one of them and everything.
I do have one of those.
Yeah, I can send you so I can send you links to this stuff too. So
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool? So this gives people a sense behind the scenes of everything we've been doing, and what it's about, what we've been shooting so far.
Me and my goofy smile. I was like, cheese. Yeah, we had fun that day. I appreciate that.
It was awesome. And the thing that's so cool, if you notice, like the look and feel of what we got there visually with the trees and everything, I was really important to me that we got the same kind of look with my Minnesota stuff. So, these two, right? So they all have that beautiful fall look to it. So I think that's going to be really, really neat,
Yeah. Look at the sky in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good day. It turned out better than what we thought because it was kind of cloudy that morning.
Yep. Yeah. But it's really cool. So then if you go back down, you can see that you then scroll down to so then you get the Minneapolis there, and then that shows the virtual shoot stuff we did when we built the we had the Eagle interior that we did virtually as a 3D Unreal Engine version.
Oh yeah.
So then we used the LED volume screen and did that, which turned out really well, which was cool. So we are planning some sequences. There are going to be some pretty magical moments. I'll reveal to this audience that we're recreating Peary, the planet Peary, and it's going to look totally real, like it's like the show. It's really cool, and we've got a really neat, magical little opening sequence we're going to do with that. So you see this background. The thing that's really cool about this is, as the camera moves and tracks, the background actually moves in 3 dimensions. So it's a screen, but it actually projects the background as if it's a 3-dimensional object. So what happens is it tricks the camera and the viewer into looking like you're actually in a physical space. So that's how we did that, which was really cool. But it was a very time-consuming thing to read because we had to build the whole interior of the Eagle from scratch. It was probably like 300 hours of work to build that Eagle interior. Wow. Yeah. So now we have it and we're in talks. I mean, you were part of that. We want to try to pitch a video game using this stuff. Got the assets, and we've got the Eagle exterior that we've built too in 3D, 3D. So Yeah, so like for example, you can kind of see an overlap there behind me. You see how the door like they
Hmm.
okay. So there's a higher res version that the camera picks up, and then there's a lower res version that projects light. So what happens is that higher res version, it tracks with me. So he dollied along, the background moved with me. So it's
Ah,
really crazy. It's really neat technology. It's very cool. So it makes it look like I'm literally inside the Eagle. It was really neat, And we obviously had to match the lighting. We had one of your 22s there.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's nifty.
yeah, yeah. So there's behind the scenes. That's John Avery, who some of you may know, my writing partner, collaborator, and co-creator in this project, Frederick Haugen, and then Anne Marie Gillen, who's a producer that has been I've worked with
Finally
her.
got a
Yeah.
somewhat of a face to put on Anne.
Yep, yep, yep. So Anne Marie, she's a seasoned Hollywood producer, has been around for a lot of years, and yeah. So, but yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I had them smoke it up a little bit just to give it a little atmosphere, so it all pulled together, So
That is neat.
yeah, yeah. So it
That's
was
things that nobody
yeah. So you see, if you go back one,
go back
go
one.
back one. So you see that we had that light hanging over it, and we used that light to recreate the ceiling lights inside the Eagle. See what I'm
Ah,
saying? So one of the things that I did is I pushed them really hard to make sure the lighting matched, so it felt like what would the light be? One of the things I was trying to explain to the camera crew was that those sets lit themselves. You didn't have a lot of additional lights brought into those sets. The light came from the set itself,
ah,
right? All those lights in there. So one of the things I had to do was figure out how do you emulate that, and so that's what all those flags are and everything we used in order to recreate that lighting. And everything. So then we did 2 or 3 different setups. So you see that you'll notice that setup is looking down toward the cockpit. And then the other one where I was walking along is to the side inside the passenger module. So what happens is you've got a 3D model. You can spin it around and do whatever you want with it. We could look at the
wow.
ceiling, look at the floor. We could, and
Right.
it's all built in there, which is really cool. So, but the cockpit is such a small confined space. You just can't. I don't think you could fake that believably
Right.
with that. So that's why I'm building it physically. But I want to build this too physically as well. And I think it's a really good idea. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you can go to the next one. Yeah. So that's actually was when we were shooting some of the stills for the poster and everything. So the
Oh,
guy
that's
in the
cool.
foreground's a photographer that I've worked with for a number of years. So yeah.
Look at Anne's back. Anne Marie's back in there
Yeah,
in
she's
the
holding a
midst
flag.
of it.
She's holding a reflector. She's holding a reflector.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. And then we actually so when we decided to do the shots that we used for the poster of the Eagles landed, and
Mhm.
everything, we actually decided to just switch it to green screen. So we could just and you use that, you can just turn it into a neutral background. You just eliminate it and then put in whatever background you want. So then we still put the eagle in as a background, but we can control the angle and make it look a little more realistic and add lens flares
Ah,
and stuff. So that's how we did that. So yep, and then
uh,
that's John and everybody watching me on the monitor, and I had them kind of checking to make sure it was looking believable, like is it looking
right.
right? Yeah.
These are some pretty good photos. I like them.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I don't know why I haven't seen these yet. I need to just go to every once in a while, go to this uh, and check out the updates.
I know that it was so cool because I had people look at this and they actually when they saw it they gasped when they saw it. They're like, "You're in the Eagle," and it was very cool that we pulled it off to that level. So then if you go to Colorado Springs, you can see when we shot with Kevin Anderson and everybody knows, but
Kevin.
yeah, Kevin's the author of books like Dune, and he's worked on Star Wars and X-Files, and he's a prolific author. He's got almost 200 books that he's written, and been a New York Times bestseller dozens of times, and he's a
Hmm.
very, very successful author. And he and I have co-authored a book based upon my screenplay for my feature film that I'm doing called Persephone. So we shot at
Yeah.
this place called Garden of the Gods. And it's really about how Space 1999 influenced him as a kid growing up in Wisconsin, and how it led him partially to his career as a writer and everything. And we talk about the influence and the view of the future and everything. So it was a really cool location to shoot.
Man, look at those. That's That is just begging to be in a movie.
Yeah.
Those
Rock
mountain,
formations. Yeah.
yeah, rock formations.
Yep.
That is just beautiful.
And then this was some of the establishing stuff we shot. So that's the Davis, who's my camera director of photography, Davis Yates, for this shoot. And Davis, he actually not only is he's a great shooter, you know, he also is a great drone pilot as well. So we did some super cool stuff with Kevin, where Kevin tends to sometimes write his books where he'll walk with a recorder in the forest. So we had the drone following him and flying over the forest and flying in. It's like I said, this is going to be really cool. This documentary is going to be really cool. So
Yeah,
yeah.
man, yeah,
And this is again, you know, back to, and I know you've mentioned this as well. When people are like, "What does it cost $500,000?" It's like, well, it's because we're actually trying to make a movie, you know, because you could go and shoot something for $100,000, I guess, and just put people in chairs and sit there and, you know, opposite each
yeah,
other. I don't think that's the story. I think this is much more interesting.
it would
And
be
you know, when we have
boring.
the capability of doing things at this level, why not do it? It's going to make a
Exactly,
much more appealing movie to a much broader audience, you know. So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I finally got to see this kind of action when you guys came to visit me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's amazing the way these guys are. You've hired professional people, and they're top notch people.
Oh yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
There you guys are.
mhm.
So yeah, that's
And you
hope
got the
everybody's
visual. Might as well just.
liking this stuff. Oh, well, there's Nikki
Mhm.
Wonderfest. Or David Boyer holding the
Mhm.
22.
Mhm.
I really like that photo of you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, and there is some of my stuff.
Mhm.
There's
And you recognize those guys were the same guys.
yeah,
Because
those are
yeah.
the same guys that came
Mhm.
to my
I had the
house.
same guys. I had the guys from Louisville come to Indiana. Yeah.
They rocked.
Mhm.
Man, that display was awesome.
Yep.
Gordon really knew what he was doing when he thought about this.
Mhm.
That 88-inch sets it all off. Speaking of Gordon, there he is.
Mhm.
There's some more little. It's pretty cool how that camera gets. You can see the
Yeah.
guy's
Oh yeah.
helmet and everything right in there.
Mhm.
That
Well, that's
actually
another
is
reason why I wanted to bring a professional photographer in. You know. So
right.
yeah.
That model was built by Mark Myers,
Mhm.
one of my good friends. Great photos.
So yeah, and then and we hit Calgary real quick, and then I think
Oh, there
that's
we go.
everything we've done so far, you know. So yeah,
Darren,
yeah,
Mr. Eagle 3. So this is Eagle 3 right in here, right?
yep.
Right in the middle of the table there.
Mhm.
Nifty.
And that's my
There's
first
David
time meeting Nick
Hirsch.
and David Hirsch. Yeah.
I know most of these people in this picture. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Mhm.
You and Nick.
Mhm.
And there's Eagle 3.
Mhm.
What'd you think about that?
Oh, it was amazing.
Using
It was crazy to actually hold that in my hand. You know, I think about watching it as a child and all the stuff it's insane. It's insane. It was
yeah,
a hugely emotional experience in a lot of ways. You know, so very cool. I'm really glad I went up there. It was, you know, I didn't have my crew yet, but I did shoot some stuff, and we've got great photos and everything. So, you know, it's like I can tell the story of having been there, no matter what. You know,
right.
so that's the
You
good.
know the two stands that are holding this one eagle up,
Hmm.
the cargo winch.
Hmm.
Those are actually like paper towel holders bent over.
Oh, sure,
Somebody
I can see that.
somebody figured that out and was actually selling them and
That's a,
probably made a killing on them for a while.
oh wow, that's funny.
I've got I probably got 10 or 12 of them myself.
Huh.
And then
Interesting.
the actual the stand, the clear um, stand that the other one's on back there,
Mm-hmm.
that was actually came from our group. I decided to make a stand for each one of the eagles, the cargo, the the lab, and all that stuff for the 12-inch eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent a couple of my eagles to this the guy at Display Stands Direct, and he used the eagles to make those stands. And then I did the same thing when we got the 22-inch eagles out. So that's
Mm-hmm.
nice to see. It's in Canada. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great group of people. A lot of really cool stuff. There was a lot of love. It was cool.
Oh yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Warren Frederick did a great job with that. He did a good job. So putting it all together and everything. It
More
was
Eagle
cool.
3.
Yep. So
Oh, let me go back. Is that small eagle right there? Is that David Hirsch's 11
that's David
inch?
Hirsch's. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that's an original screen used too.
I know that one had even more resonance for me because it just literally that end credits like blew
Hmm.
me away when I first saw the show. And so I'm like, oh my, I'm actually holding that. That's crazy.
Yep.
That was crazy for me.
I
So
got to hold it at two of our conventions.
hmm
It was definitely, and that's David Hirsch and Bob Wood there.
hmm
That's I got a couple of books signed from them, thanks to Mike and Debbie Reeder. I'm afraid I would get beat up if I rode that around town, but I think it's cool.
It's cool, but I don't think you'd want to ride that around town. No.
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh.
People be like,
What the heck, boy? What is
yeah,
that? Yeah,
yeah.
so let's go back out. So if you click the eagle again at the up in the upper corner there, yeah, so that's kind of brings us home. If you scroll all the way down, um, there's so that's our news section actually too. So that actually
Hmm.
shows if you go up a little bit, up
Go
just a
up.
tiny bit, that section there talks about all the news of everything, all the articles. There's tons of articles about this documentary and everything we're doing and stuff. So it's been really cool. So there's a lot of stuff
Cool.
here yeah, so you can go on there and see everything. And then I still want to keep encouraging people, send us your stories, send us in 200 500 words about why you love the eagle and how you first got into it. Send us some photos, and it's been amazing.
Wow.
We've got people from all around the world send in info, so we still want more people to reach out
Huh.
to us, send it in, because one of the things I'm planning to do is I'd like to do for the end credits of the movie, I'd love to, like, as the credits scroll, have photos of all these people with their eagles all around the world. That's what I'd like to do. So we
That
need
is
more.
a great idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. So yep.
Now in
Yep.
production. I love that photo.
Mhm. Yeah, so you see that, like, that's how we use that green screen. We use that green screen so we were able to composite that background in.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That makes
Yep.
now it's nice to see that,
hmm
you know, be explained right there. That's
hmm
cool.
hmm Yeah.
All right. Do
Okay.
you do you have a production schedule in here? Or is that always
I
blocked
don't,
out?
because it changes. You
Okay.
know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
what I might do is put something in to say, coming soon, like put an article of like what we're getting ready to do, something like that.
Mhm.
I might put that in. I haven't decided, but I don't want to put an official schedule in because things are changing. They sometimes shift and change. So, but I
Right.
talked with
I got
Brian in the last 24 hours and he's good to go for that week that we're planning. So, yeah.
gotcha.
hmm
Okay, well that was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I got a bunch of questions now.
All right. Happy to answer them.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Michael Morris said, "Are the Eagle sets you're building being built like a filming set, or are these built to be fully enclosed immersive?"
The number one goal is fully enclosed and immersive. That's the number one goal. But we will create some aspects that can allow them to function as a filming set. So my first goal is just make it feel like you're really in an eagle. That's the number one thing. Like when you're in there, you're in an eagle. It's not a film set. But I want to have like some of the wall panels be able to pop off, where we could stick a camera or stick a microphone or do things like that, or add an additional light or something. So we will have some flyaway walls and panels and things that can move and shift. But at the end of the day, you're in an Eagle. That's the dream. That's the plan.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I guess I left Alan's question up there so long. He was like, "Hey, take it off, take it off." Let's see. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. David Hirsch is. I did talk with David Hirsch during when I was in Calgary. Jeffrey Mandel. I mean, I'm a huge fan. As a matter of fact, I've literally got a print of his right up here above my desk.
Mm-hmm.
And another one of his over there, his original blueprint. So I think it's great. The thing to realize with this documentary is there's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? There's only so many stories you can tell. And
Right.
it's like, right. And it's like, I want to, maybe what we can do is find a way with this website and this archive to start getting more stories in there, because, when it comes to the documentary itself, there's only so much you can really do, with it in terms of, telling the stories and doing something. Jeffrey Mandel's somebody I might consider talking to when I'm in, I think he's in Los Angeles. So, it might be possible to interview him when I'm there for the Barbara Bain Day or something. I could try to maybe consider putting him in, because I think he's great and I love his work. So, it's just the thing is that it's just, this is, again, it's sort of I think the best way to think about this is like a pop cultural expression of getting the Eagle out to a broad audience, right? So there's a documentary we could do for all of us, that's really micro, that gets in really heavy duty with core fans and individuals and stuff like that. But what happens is that documentary, then that appeals to a few thousand people. Does that make sense? And at the end of the day, because I mean, Todd, you've been involved with this way since the beginning, and you know that the Hollywood people that I talked to, they didn't want any fan stuff in this at all. It was all about celebrities and then NASA. It was not even about the Eagle by the end of it. So
right.
So that's one of the challenges. So I will find ways. Everybody, you have my word that I will find ways to do articles about key people in Eagle, history and Eagle fandom and Eagle merchandise and that sort of thing. But some of that will probably have to live on the website,
right,
and not just be able to be in the documentary itself, because I'm trying to tell an emotional story about. See, the story is like this. The story of the documentary kind of works this way. It's like you, Todd. It's like my story is like emotionally is like, here's a guy grew up in Indiana, small town boy. One day goes over to his friend's house and sees this spaceship and says, "What is that?" And becomes so obsessed with it that it eventually leads him to, as a grown-up, setting up a social media platform to talk about the Eagle, that leads to building tens of thousands of model kits. That's a story. That's an emotional story, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the story of Jan, and here's a guy who was so obsessed with the Eagle that he built one in his own garage, in his own house.
Right.
That's a huge deal. There's and that's the kind of thing that I think hooks people and could really bring in a broad audience. It's like, there's me who's like been so obsessed with this and into it for so many years that I'm rebuilding the actual full-size physical thing, right? That's a story that I think people could go like, why do you guys care so much about this? And that's why we start talking about it. So that in the end of the day is a lot of what the documentary is about, so it's really talking about that passion and about that core, those feelings. But again, it is important to me that we do find ways to honor and acknowledge the people who've contributed to all this over the years. And so I think we just need to really find a way to expand that website, to make it even bigger.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
These are like, just like you said, these are stories that us fans, and we're hoping other people that don't even, that know about the Eagle, or will enjoy.
Hmm.
I mean, it's going to be, and it's the way you're capturing it is going to be that it's in story form, and it's it comes from the heart.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I actually think that that's the way to go. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I
like
mean,
you said, sending
it's
people.
the thing is that if you make this really dry and very much about, and then there was this guy who did this drawing, and this guy did that, and this person studied this, and this person created that. What starts to happen is I think that the mainstream audience is like, I've never even heard of this. I don't care about this. I'm not watching it. It's that's the problem you get into, right? So it's like I'm trying to balance it
Mhm.
by because I have an awareness of all this. I've got the Richard Bergeron prints, and right. I mean,
Right,
that's all. I have the Baldessari prints, right? Actually, he's a friend of mine, and I
right,
actually talked to him. I was like, can we put you in this? He's like, yeah, my English isn't so good, and then it's like, I mean, there's so many things I've tried to do and figure out here. But like, for example, to me, I think, I do think it could be cool to do. I think Jeffrey Mandel, because he's doing newer stuff, and I think that's worth talking about. But I think Chris
mhm,
Thompson's the technical manual going into that is going to be a huge part of this story, and I'm so excited about that, because I mean, he's not only does he talk about the eagle itself, but the evolution of the eagle in sort of this
right,
cool way, right? So to me, that epitomizes it. But you only have like 90 to 120 minutes. You only have that much time. You got to be very careful about what you pick and choose to make a movie. So.
right. Yeah, you don't want to sit. Nobody's going to sit in much longer than that to watch
No,
a.
and it's and we want this to be I actually have an offer to put this into 12,000 theaters. Okay. So it's like I'm making a theatrical movie. If I'm making a theatrical movie, like you got to, right? There's a big difference between that and something that's like going to be a little YouTube documentary. You know what I
Right.
mean? Right. So it's like,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
it's got to have a very different appeal and scale to it. So yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Hmm.
Scott says he'd pay money to sit in a mock travel tube, let alone to sit in an Eagle replica.
I'm with you, man. Yeah, yeah. No, I think it could be a worthwhile story. I'll look into it. That I do agree. I appreciate you pointing that out. That is one that could be worth looking into.
Yeah.
And I know about his background as a graphic artist and stuff in film and TV and
Right.
stuff. So, yeah.
Hollywood just didn't want anything. They wanted to run the whole show and do it on their terms, and that's why you pulled away from them, because
Well,
this
yeah,
is
we
about.
wouldn't have been in Indiana shooting you. That
No,
wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have cared. And when
no.
I told them about Wonderfest, for example, the Hollywood folks were just like, well, make it funny, make it quirky, it's like I think their view was like, how do we make fun of you guys? Does that make
Right.
sense? Right. It's like,
Yeah.
aren't these guys kind of
That's
weird?
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that's I think that's the Hollywood view of it's like those Eagle guys, they sure are weird. And it's like, no, that's not the story we're telling here. That's not because we're not weird, and there's a reason, and I'm going to get into that reason in the movie. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Um.
Any more questions?
So,
Mhm.
looks like we've hit most of them
Okay,
so far.
cool.
The the uh, the book you're doing for the novel for Persephone.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, I'm getting the updates on it because I'm a backer and everything, and it's gone over the roof.
Yeah, yeah, we've done quite well with
You're
it. Um,
you you've hit a lot of your milestones already and everything. So
hmm. Hmm. Well, Persephone is a project I've been working on for a number of years. It's a feature film about um, people traveling to a planet called Proxima b, which is a real exoplanet that orbits the nearest star, other than the sun, of course. And it's 4.2 light years away. And I wanted to tell a story about, colonists going there and something that they may discover that could really impact the future of humanity. And it's a movie kind of 2001 like. It's an action adventure story, but it's not about guns and battles or those things. It's more about the human exploration and peril and the challenges that we're going to face as we start to go out into the universe. That's what the story's all about. So, yeah. So,
I'm interested in seeing that put
yeah,
together too.
it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really, really cool. So, um, if we're trying to see if we can get this thing to, a certain level, and we'd love to get, some more additional, first of all, you get the book, which is going to be the movie. We intend to go into production of the movie before the end of 2024. I'm going to finish The Eagles Landed first, but by the end of 2024, I should have this made for a 2025 release or so. So, but this is, you can see some of the stuff there. Even on the image, you can see a couple of the spaceships I designed, which are, as a matter of fact, you see that rover?
Yeah.
I specifically designed that rover with an homage to the Mattel Eagle in it.
Oh,
Can you
really?
see that? You can see
Yeah.
that. That's an Easter egg for Space 1999 fans that I put into the design.
There you go.
Specifically designed that cockpit to the front of the vehicle to feel like an homage to the Mattel Eagle. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So
That's awesome. I'm glad that you've had some really good backing on this.
Oh yeah, thanks.
So let's see. We got Nick McCarty's got a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. I think a lot of us felt that way, Nick. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And no matter what happens, whether I get you in the documentary or what, I want to somehow showcase Nick's work. I want to showcase what Nick is doing and everything somehow. So we're going to figure that out. Mm-hmm.
There you go, Jan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jan. Yeah.
You see his name and you just want to say it the way we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all proud of being weird then, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Was anybody else got any questions for Jeffrey? We've covered a lot today. That was a quick hour. I didn't even realize it'd been an hour yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to probably run pretty quick here, but yeah.
Yep.
No. I mean, it's just I'm really glad we got to update, and I'm trying to be really candid and open with everybody, and explain sort of the how and the why, and not my whole thing is like, let's just be transparent about what we're doing and why, and go make something cool. And I'm hoping that people will understand feedback wise why we're approaching it the way that we are, and everything, because it's
absolutely,
while I don't want to do the Hollywood thing all the way, I do recognize and understand that we have to create something that's for a mass audience and not just for fans.
So, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I mean, we want something bigger and better than some of the YouTube documentaries, but they were good back in the day.
Oh, they're good. I'm not saying they're not good. It's just that they probably aren't ready to be shown in a theater. That's right. You know what I mean? It's like that's a different thing. Yeah.
Camera work is expensive these days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 3:00, so maybe we'll just call it quits today. And I appreciate you joining us and doing all the explanation.
Yeah, if I have any stuff to share for the Eagle rebuild next week, we can come back. I'll come back next week if there's something. I'll keep you posted.
Absolutely, that'd be awesome.
If there's any cool new visuals or any new stuff to talk about and everything. So, because heck, we could do a website just about rebuilding the Eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody joining us today, and give a big thank you to Jeffrey for his efforts on the Eagle is Landed documentary. We're looking forward to more updates, and then eventually sitting down maybe in a theater and watching this thing.
Oh yeah.
If this thing goes into a theater, we gotta all meet. The team's got to all meet somewhere and watch this thing together.
Oh well, I'd have a special screening for just you guys. We'd figure it out.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. Friend. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. Have a good Sunday, and everybody's back to work tomorrow except for Jeffrey. He's still at work every day.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you coming out. Okay. Take care. Okay, bye-bye.
See you, Jeffrey. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Looks like I need to do a little bit more work on advertising for this page. and doing this all on YouTube. But anyway, it was a good discussion, and I'm gonna try and do them every week, Jan. So next Sunday, hopefully Jeffrey will give me some updates, but I'll do something next week with some other folks too. So we'll have my friend Mark Heavenham on, and maybe Mark Craig from the UK. Him and his photography and his dioramas they're awesome. So I'll keep it interesting. Don't worry. Just hope everybody has a good Sunday, and we'll see you next time. All right, see y'all.